What's going on, guys? So these are my 9 gym mistakes I made as a beginner. It's a sort of different video we're going to go for today. It's no vlogging, no nothing. It's just literally me being raw, me being open about myself in the past. And so yeah, hope you enjoy the video and hope to see you in the next one.
I mean it. You know, I mean it. Just know, I mean it.
By the way, please excuse the slightly poor quality of the video. Unfortunately, the camera didn't focus properly and the sun kept coming in and out, which affected the lighting of it all. So the hedge may look slightly different in colour every single time. Number 1 was to tuck my shirt in before I went to the gym. For some reason, I always used to tuck my shirt in before I went in the gym. I don't know why. I feel like this was because I felt like when you're playing a football match or playing a rugby match or cricket match, we always got told to tuck our shirts in. For some reason, it was a sign of respect, and I tell you what, I look like an absolute div. And the worst thing about it all, I actually thought I looked good. So no, I really didn't. Learn from my mistake. Number 2 was to wear a ridiculously tight t-shirt. You may think this t-shirt now is tight, but I tell you what, I used to look ridiculously stupid in a very tight t-shirt. What they do is they don't hide anything, they literally reveal everything. So you've got to be walking around tensing the whole time, and for some reason I thought this looked good. I thought if you wore a tight t-shirt, it made you look big. It'll make you look like a bulging out of your t-shirt, when in fact it can make you look about 10 to 15 pounds lighter. So now I go for a now moderately sort of balanced t-shirt, relatively tight in the muscle fitted area, but not too tight where I literally feel like I can't breathe. Number 3, and I feel like if you've been lifting for more than 2 months, you would have gone through this period, and that is to walk around the gym as if you own the place. When I started gymming, about 2 or 3 months in, I got a bit of confidence. I started to build a bit of muscle mass and I felt like I owned the place. I used to walk around like I was the king and I was the boss, but that really wasn't the case. There were people in me who've been lifting 10 to 15 years longer than me, and they looked at me and were like, you are a plonker. And now I do exactly the same, but I know I went through that period of time where I thought I was the king. This is because it's a whole different lifestyle change. I've never done something serious every day my whole life, and now I was able to do something for 2 or 3 months every day, and I felt like I was committed to it, and I felt like no one else knows what I'm doing, when in fact everyone else has been doing exactly the same as me for a lot longer period of time. And I was quickly put in my place and I learned very fast. Number 4 is the most annoying thing if you're a friend of mine. I didn't shut up about the gym. I used to talk about the gym the whole time to my friends, and do you know what? They didn't care because they weren't into the gym. I was telling them what I was doing, I was telling them what I was eating, I was telling them who I was watching, who I was looking at, and people like that. And that is one of those worst things you can do if your friends aren't into the gym, is just to ram it down their throats about what you're doing. Instead of asking them what they are doing, you are talking about what you are doing. And you know, I was told this is one of the things to do to become obsessed with the gym and to try and get into the gym, but in fact it was one of the things which almost put my friends off it, and I now struggle to get gym partners, mainly because of my fault, because I used to ram it down their throats about what I was doing in the gym and things like that. Number 5 was overcomplicating a choice of a protein bar. I used to drag my mate Jack while we were at college to Holland & Barrett, and I used to look at these protein bars on the wall and think, which one should I have? And I literally spent about 20 minutes choosing what protein bar I was going to have a day. The difference was about 1 gram of fat and about 2 grams of protein, but for some reason I thought this would be the difference between making gains and not making gains. And now I've learned and developed, and you realise that really they're not really that much different, apart from 1 or 2 grams of protein, which is literally nothing. Number 6 was becoming too dependent on music when I'm lifting a heavy weight. For some reason, I always felt like I had to have the drop of the song at the same time when I was lifting up on a contraction. Let's say bench press, I was doing a 1 rep max, I had to make sure when I came down, the drop had to be immediately as I was pushing up. But for some reason, this actually affected me in a bad way, because I was thinking about the song rather than actually thinking about the lift and the mind-muscle connection with that, and that distracted me, and I was unable to get a proper good contraction and a lift. And it also annoyed the people spotting behind me, because I was like, hang on, I'm not ready yet. Oh no, I missed the drop, I've got to go back again, rewind it, get my breathing sorted, and then go again. And this isn't a good thing to do. Number 7 was overcomplicating when I had to eat food before a workout. For some reason, I was obsessed about having a meal 1 hour and a half before my workout. This messed me up on the head slightly, because if I had a meal 45 minutes before my workout, I'd become sick and I wouldn't feel very nice during my workout. If I had a meal 2.5 hours before my workout, I wouldn't think I had enough energy in my system to be able to perform and lift the weights. And for some reason, I became obsessed with this 1 hour and a half window, which I needed to eat food be able to have a good session. And this isn't the case. When I went on my shred previously, I discovered that I could really function and lift heavy on a minimal amount of workout, minimal amount of food. And this is all to do with psychology. You've got to believe you can do it before anything else. Food is not going to help you unless you don't believe you can do it. Point number 8, judging my physique day by day. When I was a new lifter, I used to look at myself and think to myself, have I improved from the day before? And if I hadn't, in my own image, in my own eyes, I'd get demotivated and demoralised. This isn't a good thing to do, because there are so many different factors on what makes you look bigger than they were the day before. How much you've eaten, what you trained, and things like that. If I trained legs the day before, I would think to myself, wow, I'm looking very small upper body. That's because my blood is no longer in the upper body necessarily as much as it would be if I trained upper body the day before. It is now my legs, and that's because that's where it needs to be, and that's where it last got told it needed to be. And number 9, the most important point of all, I neglected legs completely for the first 2 years of training. This, looking back on it, was a simple and utter disgrace in some ways. I used to train for just simply vanity and for reasons. And you know, I think that's a pretty good reason. I'm not trying to defend myself, but you know, when you start out the gym, the main sort of drive for boys, if you're a single lad, is to get girls. It's as simple as that. But that is still no excuse for not training legs. Trust me, train legs early, you're going to thank yourself later for it.